Hi guys, good morning. This could be a film about my new Wig Wag, but it's actually a film about you. It's a film about us. It's a film about being a man of a certain age with a workshop and really enjoying this. I can't tell you how much I've learned and feel part of a community. This is what I really enjoy, and I know you enjoy it too. This is the latest creation, so this is very much from Aid's original wigwag design, but it's a double acting wigwag. And the thing about this one, if you can see it, is it's self-starting. So it's there's a wigwag steam input on the bottom and the top. So I had to make a bottom cylinder cover, which was a bit of a challenge. It doesn't have a traditional steam engine threaded bushing with the cord in it. It's just a nice tight fit for the 4mm rod. You can see around the back it's got two input ports. Air, steam goes in there, goes into one of the wigwag ports, is looped down to the bottom one, and there's two exhaust ports. And it's great. As I said, it's pretty well self-starting. The only place that it doesn't start is at 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. And I guess it's self-starting because there's air going, pushing the piston up, and there's a port pushing the piston down. That's a bit too close to the where it won't start, but down at 6 o'clock it will start. Some of the challenges in building it are I go for this flat milled on 25mm round stock, which I find easier than doing the Aid's idea of a square stock, because I'm not very good at using it for forge or chuck in my mini Proxon lathes. So I just drill 25mm round bar stock and then mill a flat on it. But that's challenging. The challenge for me is I didn't have any V blocks, so holding 25mm round stock that's all drilled and ready to do, and then I mill the flat, was very challenging to get it absolutely level. But I've got a V block that will take 25mm 1-inch stock on order. The next thing, of course, as one of you pointed out, is I need a very thin crank because there's no offset to the main faceplate. And so this was good because although it's based on the original wigwag design, all the measurements I had to figure out. So, you know, I figured out the throw of the piston, and then that became half it was 15, so 7.5 was the offset for the crank pin on the crank. Yeah, that's perfect, just half it. I wish that it was a bit bigger. I should have, the piston I did 15mm, and I think I should have done like a, you know, maybe a 10mm or an 8mm piston, and then there would have been a longer stroke. When there is a longer stroke, you get a bigger wig-wag difference between the inlet and outlet ports. At present, the wobble of the engine is very small, probably 5 or 6 millimeter between the inlet and outlet port, and that's made it quite challenging to actually port up at the back. The pipe is for the inlet, so the air goes in there. I'd had to drill 20 mil to intersect with a 2.5 mil hole. That was very close to the other one. It worked. Plastic pipe round to the other one with a piece of brass, and then you can see the steam outlet ports are really close. The other thing I decided to do was put on a reasonably heavy flywheel, because I assumed that this double acting engine would actually produce a little bit more power. I don't really know if it does. It's certainly smoother and it's pretty well self-starting, but more power? Nah, not really. The other challenge I got was the first time actually I had a problem in the alignment of milling the flat on the cylinder to the base. That wasn't lying flat for some reason. I had to re-mill that and sleep on it, as you do, and wake up and think, oh yeah, maybe I should try that. And it was only this morning that I kind of sussed it. In fact, what was happening is the crank is still a bit thick, so it was lifting up the bottom of the cylinder, so it wasn't staying completely flat to the faceplate. So by taking a little bit off this crank interconnect piece, the brass piece there, and making it flatter, or reducing the size of the flywheel, but it's all stuck together with our friend Loctite. Loctite is my new friend, so that would have been hard. The second thing I think I said on the Facebook Wig Wag site was making the bottom cylinder cover was a challenge. The first one I made had a 4.1 mil reamed hole, or drilled. I don't have a 4.1 reamer, which I thought would be a nice clearance fit for the 4 mil crank rod, but it was way too much. Steam was just hissing out the bottom. So in the end, what I did was I heated it up, broke the Loctite bond, took it off, made another one, and this time I drilled it 3.9 mil, so the bar couldn't fit in it. And then using, I don't have it in front of me, using a 4 mil reamer, which is slightly tapered. Reamers start with a taper before they go incredibly parallel. So I used that taper bit to enlarge the 3.9 mil hole, just so it was a tight fit to the polished main crank rod. And running it on air at high speed, it polished it up, and it's made a pretty good finish without a gland nut. I mean, just don't have one really. That was the idea, is not to use a gland nut. I mean, it's leaky, but it's not too bad. But there you go, folks. I'd like to thank you for all your help. I'd like to thank you for inviting me and being in this amazing club where older guys with a bit of a belly and missing teeth and dirty fingernails can be on YouTube. You don't have to pretend. You can just do what you enjoy doing. Keep it up and have a great time in your workshop.